Rolling on crude oil this morning. First of all, guys and gals, we had a beautiful corrective wave this morning coming to the upside. Let's go over corrective wave. I'm going to send this, let's go over yesterday's trade, and we'll go over this morning's trade, and then we'll go on the trades that we think are going to develop here this morning. I want to make sure we got this down, and Gerald's recording this for you if you want to review this. There's only one setup that we look for on J-Signal called a number 3 pattern, okay? It's called a number 3. And what it does, it plays off market profile. Market profile, this is yesterday's trade, and we'll go over this morning. It just happened. But you got a red profile line that comes up. We call that high value area, HVA. And then we have a green line that automatically comes up on your own Ninja charts, and that's called low value area. So high value is red, low value is green. I do not use a control point because it's hit or miss. A lot of traders use the previous day's control point, the high value, low value, and that's why it's hit or miss. You just don't get really good accuracy with the control point. So I play off the value areas. Now, we only have one setup that we do, and the one setup that we do is called a number 3 setup. What J-Signal, the reason I designed J-Signal, what I've noticed since late 1980s, early 1990s, was you set a lower high or higher low for major moves. In other words, the market comes off of a higher low for buys or lower high for sells. Well, we made it really nice for you because now we added market profile in, because now we're going to know what major support or resistance is in the market, and we're not going to trade off a J-Signal, especially off the 3-sim Renko, unless we break through profile. A corrective wave is really simple. I got right here a 5-minute trend filter built into J-Signal. It's a 5-minute. We use a Renko bar type. It's our proprietary Renko bar called the Sim Renko bar. We don't use volume or tick bars. We use a Renko bar. But what we have here is we have a 5-minute trend filter built in. The magenta MA is a longer term, and the smaller one's the dashed line. If the smaller moving average is above the larger moving average, you're in an uptrend. If the smaller is below the bigger, you're in a downtrend. So we made it real easy. A corrective wave is very simply this. If the moving averages are in an uptrend, you're not allowed to take any J-Signal shorts. None. Unless you break inside market profile. And that's called a corrective or a counter wave. Let me explain that again. Make sure you understand this. If the moving averages are in an uptrend, you can't take any trades against J-Signal against the 5-minute trend. None. You're not allowed to take any on the 5-sim or 3-sim trades. You're not allowed to take any shorts unless the only time you can take it, a counter wave or what's called a corrective wave, is if you get back inside a profile. In other words, we were outside a high value area. It got back inside of HVA. You can take the first retracement short. Now it's allowed to come all the way back to this black line. It can even break back back above HVA, just as long as you don't break that black line for the signal. This is a huge short yesterday with J-Signal on the corrective wave. And it all started out with market profile. Okay? So make sure we understand that. You break back inside of HVA, you're allowed to take the first corrective wave short. You break back inside of LVA, you can take the first corrective wave long. Okay? So if you read it here, trading back inside of market profile, a little typo there, profile created a textbook corrective wave after the crude oil inventory. All right? Market profile sets the trade up, J-Signal's the trigger. Don't change that method. This method is never going to change. This exact setup has been working for 30 years in the market. Exactly the same setup of market profile. You're either going to get a corrective wave or you're going to get a motive wave. A motive wave is a 5-minute trend, and a corrective wave is against 5-minute trend. You are not allowed with J-Signal, according to my rules, my methodology. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of charts like this in all markets like this, and the only way they consistently work on a counter wave or a corrective wave, if you get back inside a market profile on the first break back inside and the first retest. That's very, very that you're not allowed to counter trend trade, according to my methodology. We do not counter trend trade the market unless market profile is broken back inside of. Then if that happens, we are allowed to take the first corrective wave. And sometimes they are huge trades. You'll get 100 tick, 150 tick trades sometimes off of a corrective wave, especially if the market's been up all morning or down, all morning. So you get some really big pushes sometimes. Yesterday's crude trade is a huge trade. 62 all the way down, almost 150 ticks, $1,500 trade on the big push down per one contract potential. So that's how we do it. So that's how we take a short. We get back inside of HVA for corrective wave, right? Now let's look at today's trade. Today's trade, if you take a look at it, was a what? Was a corrective wave to the LVA. We got back inside of LVA, low value area. Got back inside of low value area right here. Got back inside of it. So what do? You take the first wave pattern long. So the first wave pattern long, this is a corrective wave because you got back inside of LVA that shows strength. The 5-minute trend was down, according to the moving averages over here. So you're allowed to take the corrective wave. And then it went right into a number one short off my black charts. Black charts here. Number one short off my black charts called the exact high. We'll go over that in a second. I just want to make sure we get the corrective wave down. There's my exact bar short off my market profile. My number one short called the high on gold here too, and the number 3 long, the number 1 this morning. We'll go over that in a second. The bottom line is this. Corrective waves are against 5-minute trend. It can only take them if you get back inside of LVA or get back inside of HVA. So corrective waves look like this. You get back inside, then you look for the first signal long. And that's the best way to do counter waves or corrective waves. Or you get back inside of HVA, like we had that huge short on crude yesterday after news, right to the exact bar. That was a nice one. It'll look like that. That is a corrective wave. Remember, there's only one setup. They're both called a number 3. It's only one setup you do called number 3 on J signal. However, you have 2 wave patterns. A motive wave was with 5-minute trend on the first retracement. A corrective wave is against 5-minute trend.